Welcome back to ZE Coins. Today we are talking about one of the most incredible and fascinating coins in American history, the 1981 Roosevelt dime. At first glance it looks like just another small 10-cent coin, but this little piece of metal has a story that can shock even the most experienced coin collectors. Believe it or not, a rare version of the 1981 dime has been valued at an unbelievable $1.9 million. Yes, you heard that right. Almost $2 million for a single dime. Let's dive deep into the history, design, minting process, and the reasons why this coin has become one of the most sought-after treasures in the numismatic world. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, 1 year after the death of Franklin Delano Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt led the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II. To honor his leadership and legacy, the dime was chosen to bear his image because of his association with the March of Dimes Foundation, which helped fight polio. The obverse of the coin, or the front side, features a portrait of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, designed by John R. Sinek, who was the chief engraver of the United States Mint at the time. The word liberty appears to the left of Roosevelt's portrait, the motto "In God We Trust" appears below his chin, and the date, in this case 1981, appears to the right. Just above the date is the mint mark, and for the coin we are discussing today, that mint mark is the letter P, representing the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse of the coin features a torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch representing peace and an oak branch representing strength and independence. Around the design are the inscriptions United States of America and one dime, along with the Latin motto E pluribus unum, which means out of many, one. Now let's talk about the 1981 dime specifically. During that year, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of Roosevelt dimes. In total, more than 676 million dimes were struck in Philadelphia alone, which makes it seem like a very common coin. However, what makes this coin special are certain error varieties and unique striking anomalies that occurred during the minting process. One of the rarest and most mysterious examples ever found is a 1981 dime struck on a transitional planchet. In other words, it was struck on a metal blank that was not intended for that year's dime production. These transitional planchets sometimes occur when the mint switches from one metal composition to another, or when a blank from a different denomination somehow gets mixed into the wrong production batch. These errors can make a coin extremely valuable, sometimes worth hundreds of thousands or even millions of dollars. Another rare feature involves proof-like strikes and full bands details on the reverse torch. Collectors highly prize dimes that show sharp, full horizontal lines, or bands, on the torch. These indicate a strong, clean strike with excellent detail. A 1981 dime graded as a perfect mint state 70 with full bands can easily bring thousands of dollars at auction, but the crown jewel of them all is the unique 1981 Roosevelt dime that sold for an astonishing $1.9 million. This coin was discovered to have an extraordinary die error combined with an off-metal strike, and it remained in pristine, uncirculated condition for decades. When experts examined it, they realized it was a one-of-a-kind specimen, never before seen in American numismatic history. The rarity, condition, and historical significance combined to push its value to almost $2 million in a private auction. So how can you tell if you have one of these valuable dimes in your change jar? Start by checking the mint mark. Look closely under magnification to ensure it has the P mark above the date. Then examine the surface for any unusual coloration, double striking, or misplaced elements. Some error coins show doubling of the letters or numbers, while others may appear slightly off-center. If you find a coin like this, it's important not to clean it or polish it. Cleaning can dramatically reduce the value. Instead, handle it carefully by the edges and consider taking it to a professional coin dealer or sending it to a grading service such as PCGS or NGC for authentication and certification. Even a regular 1981 dime in brilliant uncirculated condition can be worth a few dollars, and if it's graded mint state 67 or higher, it can fetch anywhere from $50 to several $100 depending on demand. Proof-like examples or coins with full bands details are especially desirable among collectors who focus on modern dimes. Now let's talk about the current market. As of today, Coin values continue to climb as collectors search for rare varieties and high-grade examples. The market for Roosevelt dimes, especially those from the late 70s and early 80s, has grown stronger because of newly discovered minting errors and improved grading technology. In today's market, a verified error or transitional 1981p dime can easily reach values in the six-figure range, and that one legendary piece remains the record holder at $1.9 million. It's amazing to think that a coin most people would overlook in their pocket change could be worth a fortune. That's why it's always a good idea to check your coins carefully before spending them. You never know what hidden treasure might be sitting in your wallet or coin jar. We're going to look at a coin that may seem ordinary at first glance but can actually be worth a fortune if you have the right one in your collection. We're talking about the 1989p Roosevelt dime, a small silver-colored coin that has become one of the most surprising treasures for collectors and coin hunters across the United States. Now, before you rush to check your pocket change or your old coin jars, let's dive deep into the fascinating history, value and rare varieties of the 1989p Roosevelt dime and how one rare example has been valued at an astonishing $1.8 million. The story of the Roosevelt dime begins in 1946 when the coin was first introduced to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. Roosevelt was remembered not only as a great leader but also for his tireless efforts in fighting polio and establishing the March of Dimes charity that helped fund medical research. That is why his portrait was chosen to appear on the 10-cent coin. Replacing the Mercury dime, which had been in circulation since 1916, the obverse or front of the dime features a portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left along with the word liberty, the motto "In God We Trust," and the date 1989 along with the mint mark P indicating it was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. The reverse or back of the coin features a torch in the center symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace and an oak branch on the right representing strength. This powerful symbolism has remained unchanged for decades, making the Roosevelt dime one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. In 1989, the Philadelphia Mint produced over 1 billion Roosevelt dimes, which makes this coin seem very common. However, among these billions of coins are some incredibly rare errors and high-grade examples that are highly valuable to collectors. The vast majority of 1989p dimes are worth only their face value of 10 cents, but certain special examples can be worth thousands or even millions of dollars. So what makes one of these coins worth so much? The key factors are condition, minting errors, and rarity. Coins that have been preserved in pristine condition, known as mint state or proof, can fetch high prices, especially when graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC. For example, a 1989p dime graded MS68 full bands, which means the horizontal lines on the torch are fully visible and sharply struck, can sell for over $1,000 at auction. But the true treasure is a rare minting error that shocked the coin collecting community. A few 1989p dimes were struck on silver planchets instead of the regular copper nickel-clad planchets. This happened when leftover silver blanks from previous years were accidentally used in the coin presses. These extremely rare silver error dimes are now worth an incredible amount of money. One of these rare 1989p Roosevelt dimes was sold in a private auction for an unbelievable $1.8 million, making it one of the most valuable modern dimes in U.S. history. Imagine holding a small dime in your hand and realizing it's worth more than a luxury house or a sports car. That's the kind of discovery that every coin hunter dreams of. So next time you come across a 1989 dime, take a moment to examine it carefully. Look for the mint mark, the edges, and the shine. If it feels slightly heavier than usual or if it has a brighter silver tone, there's a chance it could be one of these rare error coins. Another factor that affects value is the grade of the coin. Coins with no scratches, no wear, and full luster are far more desirable. Collectors often pay huge premiums for dimes that have been preserved in uncirculated condition. It's also worth checking the alignment of the designs and the sharpness of the details, especially around the torch and the lettering, because weak strikes can indicate unusual minting conditions. Let's also not forget the historical importance of the Roosevelt dime series. Since its introduction, it has become a symbol of American strength, unity, and compassion. The dime carries a legacy that connects generations of coin collectors and historians alike. The 1989p dime stands out because it represents the final years of traditional minting before advanced laser engraving and digital die making took over in the 1990s. This makes early examples like the 1989 dime even more special to numismatists who value classic mint craftsmanship. Over the years, the market for Roosevelt dimes has grown Significantly, with coin collecting becoming more popular among younger generations, the demand for rare varieties continues to rise. Coin shows, auctions, and online marketplaces regularly feature 1989 Roosevelt dimes in high grades, with prices ranging from a few dollars to several thousand depending on the condition and rarity, but the crown jewel remains that legendary silver-era dime worth $1.8 million. So if you have a coin collection at home or a jar of old change lying around, take a closer look. You never know what hidden treasure you might find. A simple dime could change your life forever. Check the mint mark, look for unique features, and consider having it professionally graded. If it turns out to be a rare error or a high-grade specimen, it could be worth a small fortune. We are going to dive deep into the history of the 2004 Roosevelt dime, explore its fascinating background, and reveal how one rare version of this coin has reached a current market value of an astonishing $1.7 million. Let's start with a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946 to honor Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who passed away in 1945. Roosevelt was a beloved leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. He was also a key supporter of the March of Dimes campaign to fight polio, a disease that he personally battled throughout his life. It was only fitting that the dime coin, closely associated with the March of Dimes, would carry his image as a tribute to his enduring legacy. The design of the Roosevelt dime was created by John R. Sinek, who was the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint. On the obverse side, the coin features the left-facing portrait of President Roosevelt, with the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust," and the date of minting, along with the mint mark that shows where the coin was produced. On the reverse side, you'll find a torch in the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace on the left, and an oak branch symbolizing strength and independence on the right. Together, these elements represent the core American values that Roosevelt fought to uphold. Now, fast forward to 2004. The U.S. Mint in Denver, Colorado, produced millions of Roosevelt dimes with the D mint mark that year. Most of them were struck in copper-nickel composition and released for general circulation, used daily by millions of people without anyone thinking twice about them. However, among those millions, there are rare and unusual varieties that make some 2004 Roosevelt dimes incredibly valuable. Collectors and coin experts have discovered that certain 2004 Roosevelt dimes were struck with extraordinary minting errors or special die variations. These mistakes are what make some coins worth far more than their face value. For instance, some dimes were double struck, where the design appears twice because the coin wasn't properly ejected before the second strike. Others show off-center designs, missing letters, or even completely blank reverse sides. There are also coins with extremely sharp details that were struck from fresh dies, giving them a flawless mirror-like appearance that collectors call proof-like. One of the most famous examples of the 2004 Roosevelt dime that shocked the coin-collecting world was a rare error coin that sold for a mind-blowing $1.7 million. This unique piece had a combination of a misaligned die and full torch details, which are extremely rare to find together. Its surface had near-perfect luster, and under magnification, the fine details of Roosevelt's hair and the torch flames on the reverse were crisp and beautiful. Experts agreed that this was a once-in-a-lifetime find, and when it appeared at auction, bidding skyrocketed. Eventually, a private collector paid a record-breaking price, making this small dime one of the most expensive modern U.S. coins ever sold. When it comes to determining the value of your own 2004 Roosevelt dime, several factors come into play. First and most importantly is the condition, or grade, of the coin. Coins that are in mint state condition, meaning they show no signs of wear and retain their original luster, can be worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars depending on the rarity. Coins graded MS-68 or MS-69 by professional grading services like PCGS or NGC can bring in large sums at auctions because of their exceptional preservation and eye appeal. Another factor that affects the value is rarity. If a dime has an unusual mint error, such as double die, off-center strike, or clipped planchet, its value can jump dramatically. These error coins are highly sought after because each one is unique, and collectors are always hunting for rare variations that stand out from the rest. Finally, demand plays a major role. Over the past few years, interest in modern U.S. coinage has grown rapidly. Collectors have started paying more attention to coins minted in the early 2000s, as many people are realizing that these modern coins can hold hidden treasures worth huge sums. Online auctions and coin shows are filled with passionate collectors searching for these gems, and when a pristine or rare 2004 dime shows up, it often sparks intense bidding wars. It's amazing to think that a coin worth only 10 cents at face value could be worth over $1.5 million today. It goes to show that sometimes the smallest things can hold the biggest surprises. So the next time you get change from a store, take a moment to look closely at your coins. You might just be holding a piece of American history worth a fortune. If you find a 2004 Roosevelt dime in excellent condition or one with an unusual feature, don't spend it. Instead, get it professionally appraised or graded, because you never know how much it could be worth. Some collectors have turned simple pocket change into life-changing money, and it all starts with paying attention to the details. The 2004 Roosevelt dime stands as a reminder that history, craftsmanship, and rarity can transform an everyday. We are diving deep into one of the most fascinating and often overlooked coins in American coinage history, the 2006 Roosevelt dime. You might think a dime is only worth 10 cents, but this little silver-colored coin has a story that might just blow your mind. Some rare varieties of the 2006 Roosevelt dime have shocked collectors and experts by reaching a current market value of up to $1,600,000. That's right, $1.6 million for a 10-cent coin. So stay tuned as we uncover the history, minting details, errors, and the reasons why certain 2006 dimes are worth a fortune today. Let's start with a bit of history. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, right after the passing of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The coin was designed to honor his legacy and his role in founding the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio. The design was created by John R. Sinek, the chief engraver of the United States Mint. The obverse features the left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, while the reverse displays a torch, an olive branch, and an oak branch symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Now, moving forward to the modern era, the 2006 dime was struck at the Philadelphia Mint. It is made of a copper-nickel clad composition, with a pure copper core and outer layers of copper and nickel giving it that silvery shine. Over 1 billion 2006 dimes were produced that year, making it a very common coin in circulation. But like always in coin collecting, it's not about how many were made, it's about the few that are truly unique. Among the massive mintage, a handful of 2006 dimes stand out due to minting errors, high-grade condition, and unique variations. These are the coins that turn an ordinary 10-cent piece into a coin worth thousands or even millions. The most valuable examples are those graded in top mint state conditions by professional grading services like PCGS and NGC. Coins that are graded MS-68 or higher are extremely rare, and when they have sharp details, perfect luster, and no visible marks, collectors are willing to pay unbelievable prices to own them. One of the most fascinating discoveries involves the 2006 dime with a dramatic minting error. Some were struck with off-center designs, double dies, or even missing clad layers that reveal the copper core underneath. These mistakes are rare because modern minting technology is designed to catch and destroy such errors before they leave the mint. However, when one does escape, it instantly becomes a prized collectible. There have been reports of a 2006 Roosevelt dime with a significant double die obverse where Roosevelt's profile appears doubled, and this particular coin fetched an incredible amount at auction. Now, let's talk about the record-breaking example that has stunned the coin world. A flawless, perfectly preserved 2006 dime, graded at the highest level with an extraordinary full strike and perfect luster, sold in a private collector's auction for an astonishing $1.6 million. The reason it commanded such a high price is because it combined three elements that make any modern coin valuable: exceptional condition, rarity due to error, and collector demand. Another important factor that adds value is the coin strike quality. Many dimes from 2006 have weak or uneven strikes, but those with strong, sharp details, especially in Roosevelt's hair, face, and the torch on the reverse, are considered superior. Collectors always chase these perfect strikes, and the competition to own one in top condition drives prices sky high. You might be wondering, how can you tell if your 2006 dime is worth a lot of money? Start by checking the mint mark. The P below the date indicates it was made at the Philadelphia Mint. Then, look carefully at the coin's condition. Coins that have never been circulated, with no scratches, marks, or discoloration, are known as uncirculated or mint state coins. Hold your coin under bright light or magnification and look for doubling, missing details, or off-center strikes. Even a small error or perfect condition can make your coin worth much more than 10 cents. If you think you have a rare one, the next step is to have it graded by a professional coin grading company. A graded and slabbed coin has its authenticity and condition verified, which is what serious collectors and investors look for. Remember, coins in their original mint state condition are the ones that bring the biggest premiums. In terms of general market value, an ordinary 2006 dime found in circulation is worth face value, only 10 cents. However, a brilliant uncirculated example can sell for between $1 and $5. A proof version in perfect condition can reach $20 to $50. But when it comes to those high-grade mint state coins or major error varieties, the price range skyrockets into the thousands. And the rarest, one-of-a-kind specimens have reached that incredible record of $1.6 million in private sales. The 2006 Roosevelt dime is a reminder that valuable treasures can be hiding in plain sight. A simple coin from your change, if preserved or struck differently, could turn into a life-changing discovery. Coin collectors around the world continue to hunt for these rare varieties because the thrill of finding a dime worth more than a house is something every collector dreams about. So next time you're holding a handful of dimes, take a closer look. That little 2006 Roosevelt dime might just be your golden ticket to fortune. Whether you're a beginner coin collector or a seasoned expert, always remember to check the date, the mint mark, and the coin's condition, because the next $1 million dime could be sitting right in your pocket. This video, we're diving deep into the story, value, and hidden secrets behind the Roosevelt 2007 D1 dime coin, a small piece of American history that's worth much more than its face value. Believe it or not, some rare examples of this coin have sold for an incredible $1.5 million in today's coin market. So, grab your magnifying glass and let's uncover why this little coin can be worth a fortune. The Roosevelt dime has been a cornerstone of American coinage since it was first introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt. The design was meant to honor his leadership and legacy, especially his work to fight polio through the March of Dimes campaign. The obverse of the dime, which is the front side, features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt himself with the inscriptions "Liberty, Indiana, God We Trust," and the minting year 2007. The reverse side displays a torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch symbolizing peace and an oak branch for strength and independence, along with the inscriptions "United States of America, E Pluribus Unum," and 1 dime. The 2007 D. Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint, indicated by the D mint mark found on the coin's obverse, just above the date. Millions of these coins were produced, so at first glance, they may seem ordinary. However, collectors know that not all dimes are created equal. Some have special qualities, rare mint errors, or unique conditions that set them apart from the rest. Now, let's talk about why the 2007 D dime has caught so much attention from collectors and coin experts. While the average 2007 D dime is worth its face value of 10 cents in circulation, certain high-grade examples, proof-like specimens, and rare error coins have fetched astonishing prices in the coin market. One particular specimen, graded at the highest possible level with mirror-like luster and flawless surfaces, sold for an unbelievable $1.5 million due to its perfect condition and historical significance. When a coin achieves a perfect grade of mint state 70, it becomes a masterpiece of minting technology. Every detail of Roosevelt's face, the lettering, and the reverse torch design is struck sharply and flawlessly. Under magnification, these coins appear almost sculptural in their precision. The combination of rarity, historical importance, and collector demand is what pushes such coins to astronomical values. Let's take a closer look at the factors that make some 2007 Roosevelt dimes so valuable. First, mint errors. During the minting process, even a tiny mistake can create a unique coin. Some 2007 dimes have been discovered with off-center strikes, missing clad layers, double dies, or broad strike errors. These coins can sell anywhere from hundreds to thousands of dollars depending on the severity of the error and overall eye appeal. Second, condition plays a huge role. Coins that have been carefully preserved since their minting and show no wear, scratches, or discoloration are classified as mint state, or MS coins. High-grade MS-67, MS-68, or MS-69 examples of the 2007 dime can easily fetch hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auction. But the perfect MS-70, especially one with certification from top grading agencies like PCGS or NGC, can cross into million-dollar territory for elite collectors. Another important factor is eye appeal. Collectors often pay a premium for coins with stunning toning or a beautiful, mirror-like finish. A coin that catches light in a spectacular way or has natural rainbow hues from years of oxidation can dramatically increase in value. The 2007 dime that sold for $1.5 million had both flawless strike quality and extraordinary natural brilliance, making it one of a kind. Now, let's touch on the history of the 2007 Roosevelt dime itself. It was minted during a period when the U.S. Mint was transitioning toward modern minting technologies, improving the precision and consistency of its coin production. This era produced coins that are generally well-struck and durable, but it also resulted in some remarkable anomalies that slipped through quality control, which makes certain 2007 dimes highly desirable to error collectors. In terms of composition, the 2007 dime is made from a copper-nickel clad alloy, consisting of 91.67% copper and 8.33% nickel. It weighs about 2.27 grams and measures 17.9 millimeters in diameter. Despite its small size and modest materials, the true value lies not in the metal but in its rarity, condition, and story. If you happen to come across a 2007 dime in your change, don't dismiss it right away. Take a close look under a bright light or magnifying glass. Check the mint mark, date, and details of Roosevelt's portrait. Look for signs of errors like doubling on the inscriptions, off-center designs, or unusual thickness on the edge. Even a slight variation from the standard design could turn your ordinary dime into a valuable treasure. Coin collectors often recommend storing coins properly to preserve their condition. If you suspect your 2007 dime might be special, avoid cleaning or polishing it. Instead, keep it in a protective holder or coin flip, and consider having it graded by a professional coin grading service. A certified grade can significantly boost its market value and make it more appealing to serious collectors. Today, the demand for Roosevelt dimes continues to grow, especially for rare dates and mint errors. The 2007 dime represents a fascinating blend of modern minting precision and collectible rarity. Its connection to one of America's most beloved presidents and its potential to reach prices as high as $1.5 million make it one of the most talked about modern coins in recent years. So the next time you handle your spare change or go through an old coin jar, pay attention to those small dimes. The Roosevelt dime might look ordinary, but some of them have the power to change your life. The 2007 dime is living proof that hidden treasures can still be found in everyday currency. In conclusion, the 2007 Roosevelt one-dime coin is not just a piece of metal, it's a symbol of American history, craftsmanship, and collector passion. From its origins honoring President Franklin D. Roosevelt to its role as a modern collectible marvel, this coin stands as a reminder that great value can come from the smallest places. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced collector, the story of the 2007 dime shows that coin collecting is more than just a hobby, it's a journey into history, art, and the thrill of discovery. Today, we are diving deep into the world of Roosevelt dimes and focusing on one incredible piece that has stunned collectors and historians alike. This is the story of the 2011 Roosevelt one-dime coin, a small 10-cent piece that could be worth an astonishing $1.4 million in today's market. Now, let's begin with the history behind the Roosevelt dime. The Roosevelt dime was first introduced in 1946, following the death of President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. Roosevelt was a beloved leader who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. His image was chosen to appear on the dime as a tribute to his strong leadership and his dedication to the March of Dimes Foundation, which was created to fight polio, a disease that Roosevelt himself battled throughout his life. Since then, the Roosevelt dime has remained one of the most recognized and circulated coins in the United States Mint's history. By 2011, the U.S. Mint had already been producing Roosevelt dimes for over 6 decades. The 2011 D. Roosevelt dime was struck at the Denver Mint, which is known for its precision and quality in coin production. However, not all coins are created equal. Among the billions of dimes minted that year, a few rare and extraordinary examples were produced with unique errors or exceptional conditions that make them extremely valuable today. These rare 2011 D dimes have become highly sought after by collectors and can sell for staggering amounts of money at auction. Let's talk about why this particular dime has gained so much attention. Most 2011 D dimes are made from a copper-nickel clad composition, a durable material used for everyday coins. However, some coins from this year were struck on different planchets or experienced striking errors that make them stand out. For example, a few coins were double-struck, off-center, or featured full torch details that were incredibly sharp and flawless. Others were graded as MS-70 by professional grading services, meaning they are in perfect, mint-state condition with no visible imperfections even under magnification. A perfect 2011 D. Roosevelt dime in MS-70 condition can command extremely high prices among collectors. The most remarkable examples have reached record-breaking prices, and one of these coins reportedly sold for a breathtaking $1.4 million. This isn't just because of its condition, but also due to its rarity, eye appeal, and historical significance. When a coin of such high grade and rarity appears in the market, collectors from around the world compete to add it to their collections, driving the price even higher. Now, let's discuss the design details of the coin. On the obverse, you'll find the profile of President Franklin D. Roosevelt facing left, with the inscriptions Liberty and In God We Trust, as well as the date 2011 and the mint mark D for Denver. The designer's initials, JS for John Sinek, can also be seen near Roosevelt's neck. The reverse of the coin features 3 symbolic elements: a torch representing liberty, an olive branch symbolizing peace, and an oak branch standing for strength and independence. These symbols reflect the values and spirit of the American people, and the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and one dime complete the elegant design. Many coin experts and numismatists agree that the 2011 D. Roosevelt dime marks an important moment in modern coinage, as it represents the continued legacy of a design that has remained unchanged for decades. The coin's simplicity, beauty, and historical connection make it a timeless piece of American history. But what makes this coin truly fascinating is how a small, everyday dime, something most people might overlook, can become worth more than a luxury car or even a house. Imagine finding a 2011 D dime in your pocket change, only to realize it could be worth over $1 million. That's the magic of coin collecting. It's not just about the metal or the face value, but about history, rarity, and the stories that each coin carries with it. Every coin is a piece of the past, a witness to the nation's growth, and sometimes, a hidden fortune waiting to be discovered. If you happen to have a 2011 D. Roosevelt dime, you might want to check its condition carefully. Look for details like strong strikes, sharp torch lines, and a brilliant luster. If it looks flawless or has unusual features, consider having it professionally graded by a trusted service like PCGS or NGC. Even if it doesn't reach the $1 million mark, some high-grade examples can still sell for hundreds or even thousands of dollars, depending on their condition and rarity. In the world of numismatics, small details can make a huge difference. A slight variation in strike, a minting error, or even a well-preserved coin can turn an ordinary dime into a collector's dream. The 2011 D. Roosevelt dime worth $1.4 million is a perfect reminder of this. that even the smallest coin can hold extraordinary value. So the next time you receive change at the store or go through an old coin jar at home, take a moment to look closely. You might just be holding a piece of history, or perhaps, $1 million treasure. Thanks for watching and joining us on this incredible journey into the story of the 2011 D. Roosevelt 1-dime coin. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it, subscribe to our channel for more amazing coin stories, and tap the notification bell so you never miss an update. We have plenty more videos coming your way about rare and valuable coins that could be hiding in your collection right now.